Hi, welcome to the sixth video covering the basics in Falcon BMS. Today we'll cover engine out landings. Basically, if you have an engine failure and you've got to land the F-16, this should hopefully give you some information that'll help you do it. So the three main pieces of information that you need to be aware of is if you know where you're going to put the aircraft down. So for example, we're going to be landing at Kunsan, which is approximately here. You'd see it if the jet were transparent. Then there are 3 points in space you need to be aware of. The first is a point called the high key, and this is a point just above the runway in the direction that you want to land. So similar to coming in and doing a brake landing, you'd first fly over the runway, then do a brake in the opposite direction, and then to head the reciprocal heading, and then you'd turn in for final. Well, you do pretty much the same here, except that you do it at significantly higher altitudes. So the first one, the high key above the runway, that's 7 to 10,000 feet. The important number there is you don't want to be below 7. If you're above 10, that's not a problem. You can just extend. There are all sorts of options, but once you pass 7,000, you just don't have enough altitude or enough energy, and that's above the ground, by the way. So be aware of the altitude of the airport you want to land at. The next point is the low key, and this is the point where heading downwind parallel to the runway, you find yourself lined up with the threshold of the runway. At this point you need to be at or above 3,000. You don't really want to be above 5, but again, that can be compensated for better than being too low. If you're too low, you just won't have enough energy to turn in and land. And then finally you've got the base key, and the base key is when you're on the base leg, you're perpendicular to the runway, and you're about to turn in for final. If you're below 2,000 feet above ground there, again, you're not going to have enough energy. Now there's two other values that are worth knowing, and that is the glide, which was covered in the previous video, in the fifth video. When you're gliding, effectively you're going to be approximately 6 to 8 degrees nose down, depending on your weight and configuration. Remember, you are a jettison if you're carrying a bunch of things. So you'll be able to have a visual reference as to whether you're going to make it in final as well. But you've also got this angle as another reference. So when you're looking out the window, especially on that base leg, if it's kind of about here, a little bit lower, then you're going to make it. If it's any higher than that, you're probably not going to make it. The other thing you need to be aware of is once your gear extend, they just act like massive air brakes. So you're going to approach the runway pretty quickly, extend the gear, and they will slow you down faster than you're expecting them to. Now the way you extend the gear when you've got no engine is down here. You've got the emergency gear lever, and in Falcon BMS you just click it. So let's give it a go. Unpause, pull the throttle back, kill the engine. Remember, I'm going to first climb to get as much of that energy converted back into altitude as possible.
Warning.
250 knots is what I'm aiming for approximately, or 260, we'll see now. Right, let's get our nose down to 7.5 degrees. Now I'm going to look down at the angle of attack indexer. Yep, about 5 to 6 degrees is what you're looking for. I've got about 5, 6 there, so that's good. Let's get a good view of the runway. Now whenever you're turning in glide, you want to be doing approximately 50 degrees of bank. There we go, there's our runway. And we want to get approximately over it, and in the upwind direction, no lower than 7,000, preferably higher than that. I'm going a bit fast, get the nose up. Give ourselves an accurate reference here. There we go. Right, that's 11,000. It's banked to about 50. Now what you will notice is that when you're turning, your downward velocity increases significantly, so just bear that in mind. There we go, we're approximately at the high key and we're well above our 7,000 minimum, which is good. Since you get to about 8, let's see where we are. Right, let's turn to our downwind leg. There we go, and parallel with the threshold of the runway, 1,000 feet higher than we need to be, so we can still make it. Right, and I'm going to turn back about now. Thousand feet above, 2,000, so we can have a little bit more energy than the minimum needed, which is fine. There we go, 220 knots inbound. Right, now I don't have all that much energy, so I'm going to wait to lower my gear. There we go, do it about now. Now it's like air brakes, you're going to lose a lot of speed fast. And this arresting flare is also going to cost a bit of speed, but it's alright, we've got more than enough. And we're done. Air brake. Watch those markers on the side of the runway.
Cowboy 1-1, gonna sound tower. Next time, wait your turn.
Right, gentle braking. And then if you've got other people flying, use differential braking just to turn yourself off and get off the runway so that they can land as well. Right, turn off the EPU. And there we go. That concludes the lesson on engine out landings. Hope that was useful, and till next time, happy flying.